Yes, I know we're talking about the Kenyan law. Yes, I know Moses Tanui there is talking about the Kenyan law. And just in putting it into perspective, we remember last year we had the Kenyan anti-doping law. And if actually Jemima Sumgong is found guilty, she'll be the first Kenyan to be jailed after taking the actually drug that is EPO. A sad state of affair it will be even for her. I know she might even go out there and lose a job. But talking about the punishment, yes, if she will be found guilty, I'll also support she needs to be punished because tarnishing the Kenyan image is something very, very wrong. But now let's talk about Jemima Sumgong. I know a lot of people are wondering, what do we know about Jemima Sumgong? Because just talking about Jemima Sumgong, I know she has been in the limelight for quite a number of times. She's gone out there, she's run in different races, she's been able to have some massive achievements. But talking about those massive achievements, we remember at 2013 during the Rotterdam Marathon, she finished on the second position, and so sad for Rita Jepto, her training partner, who was stripped off actually that title. Jemima Sumgong was given that title. London Marathon 2016, it was a spicy affair for Jemima Sumgong because she fell down twice, woke up, just scrubbed herself, and went on and won that title. She ought to have gone out and defended the title in a week's time, but she won't be in the lineup that will be highlighting this year's edition of the London Marathon. Let's talk about the Olympics. She was also on a very, very sublime form, and she was able to bag the Olympics title, and she did that in style. I know it has never ever been won by any other Kenyan, but for Jemima Sumgong, yes, she got the gold medal, but trust you me, if the sample B results come and they say Jemima Sumgong doped, we'll still say no Kenyan has ever won the Olympics marathon title. Now, let's take a look at 2012. Remember, Jemima Sumgong, this is not the first time that we have allegations in matters to do with doping. In 2012, she was suspended after the IAAF said that she had used a banned substance, and after a period of investigation, Jemima, the suspension was lifted, and they said Jemima did nothing wrong. So she has tested a suspension before in matters to do with doping, but that time she was lucky because they said that she did nothing wrong. Now, she's married to her coach, and that is Noah Talam. Noah Talam is also another person who's in bad books because, yes, she's also tested the ban. And remember, Noah Talam also coaches her sister, and also her sister has been impressive in matters to do with different races. I never said that they've been doping, but we'll just wait and see if any allegations will come and say that Jemima Sumgong and also maybe Noah and maybe the sister. You never know when you talk about matters to do with doping because it is a big saga. But there is one thing that has been common when we talk about Jemima Sumgong and the training partners that she's been able to train alongside. We know we're talking about the management of the Rosa Associate Management, because that is the body that has been taking care of this actually high-profile athlete. But something that they have in common, we'll see Jemima Sumgong. She has been a training partner with Rita Jepto. And remember, Rita Jepto right now, she is serving her ban. Also, we'll remember something about Matthew Kisorio. Matthew Kisorio is also one of the athletes who came out and said, yes, I know I was doping. He pointed out a chemist where he said that is where I got maybe some of the drugs that I used. But we remember the people in that chemist were arrested, questioned for quite a number of times, and then they were released. We never know what went out. Again, under the Rosa Association, we have Agatha Jeruto, who also is one of the big wigs that have been also termed to be dopers, and now they've served a doping actually consequence. You also have Josephine Jeb-Korir. So we know there is a lot that needs to be focused when you talk about Rosa. I know when you talk about the Rosa, they will say we've done nothing wrong. So from them, I know a lot of questions will be asked. What actually went wrong? What did not go actually the way it's supposed to be? So it is a lot of question in matters to do with Jemima Sumgong, in matters to do with these troubles actually, in matters to do with doping. So when we talk about Jemima Sumgong, I know Facebook post, she still maintained her innocence because she said, I train extremely hard. That's the only way to succeed in athletics. And actually, that is what she posted on her Facebook page after these allegations came out yesterday. I'll read that again. I train extremely hard, and that's the only way to succeed in athletics. So she still maintains her innocence, but when you maintain your innocence and maybe the test will come out from sample B having a different, actually, a different take. You never know, because it won't be any spicy for Jemima Sumgong, who she's been very, very instrumental in her winning form, but right now she suffers. Now, talking about Jemima Sumgong, I know the AK said that we really condemn matters to do with doping, because for AK, for them, it is very, very sad. They are saddened, and they're saying we're frowning, and we're not even going to support this by any way. We'll just be checking that out in a little while, what actually AK had to say in regards to that, if we may have that on our screens right now. Because for AK, they're also saddened by the fact that Jemima Sumgong has participated in matters to do with doping. But for Athletics Kenya in the country, they said, we won't talk much about this issue because we must wait to see what sample B results will say. I'm still waiting to have actually that one on our screens, the AK reactions on Jemima Sumgong. There we have it. We are extremely disappointed to learn that Jemima Sumgong failed an out-of-competition drug test in February. She is currently suspended from competing pending the samples from the sample B. So for AK, they're also not happy, because when you dope, you maybe tarnish the name of the federation. At the same time, you tarnish the entire athletics look. Just moving from what the AK said, I know there is a lot when we talk about what the London Marathon actually had to say on the same, because from the London Marathon perspective, she doped and she was supposed to go out and defend her title, but you cannot defend that title if you've doped. So the message from them was Sumgong will therefore not run in London on April 23rd. Remember, she ought to have gone out there and defended her title. She's not going to do that because, yes, you've been found guilty, you must pay the consequences. And still the same, the London Marathon events will take legal proceedings against athletes who have been disqualified from the events or failed test if they do not repay the money that they have received from the event. So talk about money, yes, she got some huge sums of amount of money from her winnings in 2016. And if the sample B comes out and they say, yes, you doped, you need to face the consequences. Now let's talk about the World Marathon majors, because she has been leading up on the World Marathon majors. And when you talk about the World Marathon majors, from her perspective, she was very, very optimistic and eager that the title would have been hers now. But that won't happen. And what we'll be having on our screens now, under the World Marathon rules, if you were to finish on top rankings at the conclusion of the series, an athlete who fails a drug test or banned is not eligible to win either of those series. So it's still not easy for her. But when we say it's not easy for her, I know a lot of people have actually been bugging her support to her. People are saying maybe she never doped. People are saying it is because Kenya wins, and when we win, we'll have other people who will be coming out and maybe just following us. And at the same time, the other people who are saying we are condoning this. We're saying if you dope, why dope? Because you're tarnishing the name of Kenyan athletes. Now, let's listen.